It's late March in a coastal town in Mozambique, and a group of militants is on the attack.
A vida dos moçambicanos em Palma já era. Só chama, só em Palma.
Thousands of civilians flee as their town is left burning behind them. This isn't the first time scenes like this have played out here, but it's the first time we've seen them captured in such detail. A crisis has been unfolding as local insurgents who've pledged allegiance to the Islamic State execute the largest land grab by an ISIS-linked group in years. And this has created one of the world's most severe humanitarian crises. Hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced. And now, over the course of about a week, the insurgents are attacking Palma, a strategic port town with massive global investment. In one scene, hundreds shelter in a hotel while a battle rages outside.
A situação neste momento é crítica em Palma.
The question they're asking,
Are those big choppers coming?
is the Mozambique government going to save them? It isn't. The government exaggerated its response in the days after the attack.
As ações das FDS resultaram na evacuação de outras centenas de cidadãos nacionais e estrangeiros, tendo sido evitado também que infraestruturas.
But we found that government forces weren't able to defend Palma, leaving its citizens to mostly fend for themselves against the insurgents. Evacuations that did happen had to be hastily organized by private companies. For years, the government has heavily censored media coverage of the conflict, obscuring much of what's happening. But we can still discover clues about the situation by examining what is aired by local media, like state-run broadcaster TVM, and by Sky News, which went to Palma after the attack. Combining this footage with visual evidence from survivors, satellite analysis, and ship tracking data allows us to build a fuller picture of an attack which many felt was not a question of if it would happen, but when. The insurgency is known locally as Al-Shabaab, and it first emerged in the province of Cabo Delgado in 2017. Al-Shabaab's recruitment is mostly local and draws on grievances over extreme poverty and corruption. The group has pledged allegiance to the Islamic State. But how close these ties really are is hotly debated. The government, however, tries to maintain the illusion of safety and calm for international investors. But insurgent activity and control have escalated over time, overwhelming Mozambique's severely under-resourced government forces. Now, in March 2021, those forces are tested again. The insurgents' target, the town of Palma, lies here. Just south of Palma is the site of Africa's largest foreign direct investment, a liquefied natural gas project where the primary investor is French oil and gas company Total. The project is hailed as a massive new revenue source that could transform the country. But it's also controversial, in part because its construction displaced many local villages. In the months before the attack, insurgents were getting closer to Palma, prompting Total to strike a deal with the Mozambican government for better security at the multi-billion-dollar gas site. We analyzed satellite imagery which shows at least 9 recently constructed military outposts at key positions around the site. It's clear that the natural gas project, and not the town, is the most secure place when insurgents move in. Now we come to March 24th, the day Al-Shabaab advances on Palma. They quickly take control of parts of the coast and all key roads leading into the town. To the southwest, cutting off a key crossroads for military reinforcements. West on this road, and to the north on this road alongside the town's airstrip. Video obtained and verified by the Times shows a plane trying to land there, coming under fire. In it, we get a rare glimpse of the insurgents. Multiple eyewitnesses told us that the government forces inside Palma retreated quickly after some pockets tried and failed to fight off the insurgents.
There were a few militant personnel in Palma, and a few of them had the courage to fight those guys, but some of them were even running away even before they even fight.
We were also told that around 750 soldiers stationed at the gas site stay inside the facility instead of rushing to the city as backup. There's little footage of the insurgents from during the attack, but Islamic State media did release this footage, claiming to show the fighters preparing, along with claims that they targeted a good deal of the town's infrastructure. The Times confirmed damage to 2 banks, government offices, the town's business park, and military and police buildings. The roads are cut off, and the only ways help can now arrive are by sea and air. 3 government helicopters are moved from at least 85 miles away to the airstrip of the natural gas site. But multiple eyewitnesses told us that the helicopters only attempt to fly into Palma once and quickly retreat under fire. Other helicopters do come to the rescue, but they're not government helicopters. They belong to the Dike Advisory Group, or DAG, a South African military contractor hired by Mozambique to help fight the insurgency. Their presence is controversial. Recently, Amnesty International accused them of war crimes, claims which they deny. DAG is one of the only actors capable of conducting rescues. Its executives told the Times that they intervened on their own, without any clear instruction from the government. DAG heads here, to the Amarula Hotel. Its guests are mostly foreign. Now they're joined by over 100 others from around Palma, trying to flee.
Going to Amarula, bro.
But who should be rescued first, and why? With no government oversight, there's no plan. It falls to people like the hotel's manager to come up with one. He's speaking publicly here for the first time.
I'm looking at 220 people in the eyes, and I don't know what to do. We tried at the best to make sure everybody's safe, but we couldn't. I wish I could, but I had no means. I had to make decisions. I had to make decisions on people's lives, on people's family.
DAG ultimately makes 4 rescue flights, but their helicopters can't hold much, and just a little over 20 people make it out. Those left wonder if the military will send in the larger helicopters we showed you before, one of which can carry upwards of 30 people.
In the big ones, not in the small ones. I heard 36. If it's the big ones, we don't know if they managed to get there.
With no help coming, they developed their own evacuation plan, using vehicles from the hotel's parking lot to drive outside the town. Some take this route to a quarry, where they believe they'll be rescued. As people are loading into the cars, the hotel's owner arranges a last-ditch helicopter rescue. It carries members of her staff and her 2 dogs. She denies the dogs took up space that could have been used by people. The flight is made by a private company that the hotel often chartered for tourist excursions. As for the DAG helicopters, because they have weapons, they provide air cover for this final helicopter rescue. As the ground convoy prepares to make the risky escape over land, there's still confusion over whether they will receive air support too.
They're just there to fetch him. None of us.
He's going to go and talk to them about using the Everett chopper.
But these guys aren't going to give us cover.
That's what they said.
But the aerial resources are stretched too thin, and the cars won't all make it. Photographs showed that several of the vehicles were ambushed and forced off the road. Only a few safely reach this quarry and spend the night hiding. DAG rescues them the next day, and dozens more civilians from elsewhere. The government help never comes. With limited air evacuations, thousands of people throughout the area are forced to flee on their own. The man who shot this video told us what happened.
When we were running, gunshots were everywhere. We were running with our heads down, and a lot of people were falling down because these guys were just opening fire. They didn't care. They didn't care who is who's.
There were a lot of people trying to cross that river, going to the other side. Within a short period of time, the water was red. The water was red with blood.
Tens of thousands go on foot or by bus across the province toward other cities and towns.
Era perto, a maneira que estava a disparar, pessoa a fugir, a vir lá na minha machamba. Saímos junto lá, fugimos até distante, não sei, 100 quilômetros a fugirmos para lá no mar.
Many more people line up at the natural gas site run by Total, where at least some government security is present. Sources tell us that civilians were often denied entrance. As the crowd at the site grows, Total decides to organize a rescue, mostly for its own staff. It charters this ferry, seen here docked at the natural gas site. The Total employees appear to be protected by this ship, known as an Ocean Eagle 43, a patrol and surveillance vessel run by the Mozambican government. It's one of the few signs of government intervention during the attack on Palma. Ship tracking data shows they flee south alongside this convoy of mostly private boats. The ferry arrives in the provincial capital of Palma with over 1,300 passengers, most of them employees. And it makes a second rescue out of Palma a few days later, this time with more locals on board. After the week-long attack, repercussions were immediately felt. Because of the violence, Total has suspended its natural gas operations indefinitely, raising serious concerns about Mozambique's economic future and the people it left behind. Dozens of Total's contractors and subcontractors still remain in Palma. Some told The Times that the company hasn't checked on their safety. Total didn't respond to our request for comment. Based on our tally of evacuations, only a small number of Palma's population were rescued during the attack. Roughly 95% of the population was left behind. Mozambique's defense ministry didn't respond to our questions about their operations in Palma, but after the attack, the country's president downplayed the severity of violence in the city. His forces have since re-entered the town, assuring people that it's safe to return. It's not. A month after the attack, this thermal image reveals large fires burning in Palma, and satellite imagery confirms at least 50 buildings, some of which are seen here, have burn damage. There are near daily reports of gunfire here. Civilians hoping to escape this threat are forced to rely on a volunteer group working with private companies to organize flights and barges. The cycle of violence plaguing Mozambique for 3 years continues. Even now, residents must flee on their own, unable to trust in their government to save them.